welcome to Unfiltered with
do my
Roxy.
hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Welcome, everyone. My name is Roxana, and I go by Roxy. If you are new to this channel, I just want to let you know a little bit about me, that I started the channel a year ago. I have a podcast called Unfiltered with Roxy, and today we're going to talk about the end of the year sprint and a few of the inspirations behind me doing a big declutter in my house, or semi declutter, reorganizing, refreshing in my house. Deciding to revamp my channel. So this is why I'm doing a live now. Redid my office, redid my basement, redid my husband's man cave so that I can start the new year in a new way. So we are going to get started, and hopefully this will also help you get together in your end of year reset. So for today, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I decided to reset. And you can ask me questions. Just make sure that you're respectful of anyone else in the chat and respectful of me, because this is a safe space, and we want everyone to feel free to ask questions. And that's why I started the channel. It actually was because I had went through a series of hard times, and through different conversations with friends, with strangers, with coworkers, with family, I realized that conversations are those ways that we can connect with different ideas in a different way. So go get you some water, some tea. This one is my yogi tea, and it says, even a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, with a first step. I love this quote. So this one is a mindful, stress relieving tea. Or is it the weight loss one? I love all of them pretty much in their series. I do the mindful reset tea, some different stuff, just to help with going through the day and not snacking. I'll do tea, or I'll do my popcorn, just to help, get it together. And I just got this cup with my daughter. Our faith can move mountains. Love this one. I'm going to take a sip until you guys start asking me questions. So I wanted to start tonight with why unfiltered. I'm unfiltered now because I've been so filtered so many other times in different roles in my life, that I decided, now that I'm in perimenopause, I don't care. I just want to be able to share my mind. So a lot of times on my channel, I won't have a whole bunch of makeup on. I won't do a whole bunch of editing, because that's also a hindrance to me sharing and being able to connect with other people. So I like the fact that YouTube has so many different people, so many different phases of life. And now I'm in the phase at 48. You can check out my 48 lessons, that I don't have to worry so much about my package. My package now, my body, aka my body, needs to be healthy, needs to be clean, because I like to be clean and have my little perfumes on. And that's it. If I want to be cute, usually I am presentable every day because I like to be presentable, but it's not this pressure of all the time that I have to be. So that's why I'm unfiltered. And then part of why I decided to do this end of year reset is because everything in my algorithm was get finished, get stuff done before the end of the year. Don't let the end of the year get you and you haven't done X, Y, and Z. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of every time I'm going downstairs, my heart is pounding because of things being out of place. I'm tired of looking at the man cave um, and feeling like, oh, well, next year I'll paint. Next year I'm going to do the floor. Next year I'm going to do this big clean out of the stuff that's in my basement. And I said, I just want to do it now. I want to be able to enjoy my life now. So that is a lot of why I started the end of year reset. I wanted my home to feel peaceful now. I wanted my body to feel supported now. I wanted my creativity to be alive now because I got a lot of ideas. I have a lot of things that I want to do before I die. I know that sounds kind of dark, but it's true. I turned 48 and I don't want to just keep waiting for these ideas that I have. I have a lot of ideas and I even encourage my friends and my sisters that what are you waiting for? That's one of the things that Christy doing things says, like, what are you waiting for? You need to get your life together now because you're alive now. No day is guaranteed to us. So yeah, I just started. I wanted my YouTube presence to be better. And by that, I mean, at first I was like, oh, it would be great if I could have like 1,000 followers and be monetized. But then I was like, if I really care about people and I really care about the world that I'm leaving my kids and my grandkids in, is that I really connect with the message of inner peace brings world peace. So that's something that I can leave now. That's something that I can be creating now. One of the things that I love about my mom, Myra Sanchez, is that Myra Alita Sanchez, is that now that she's with her ancestors, with my ancestors, is that she always was teaching me lessons, lessons to be kind, lessons of how to act right, lessons of how to be a godly woman. And I have all those lessons in me, and my kids have those lessons in me. And even everyone that she's connected with has those lessons in them. So I wanted to have a piece of something that can be shared for as long as there's sharing to do. So, a little bit of why I'm doing my YouTube with more intention. Um, and even before the end of the year, I kept saying, oh, I'm going to get organized so that I can help my clients more and I can do this more. Well, the time is now. I care about them. And I think somewhere in this community of doing, or this society of doing, I want to sell more. I want to do more. Like I have 4 clients right now and I believe in all of their missions. Like God curated these people for me to be able to leave this sucky job that I was at, which when I say sucky, I mean that I was 9 to 5. I had to be there. I was literally running up my toll and had so many other things happen out of that. And I just took the job just because I felt like that's what I needed to do, not what I knew that God and my destiny had for me to do. So with that, I just realized that I have these 4 clients. They really mean a lot to me because they're fueling my dream. And just like you mean a lot to me because you're fueling my dream of helping people learn that they don't have to just blur by every day. Like they can actually enjoy every moment that they're in. They can actually remember what happened yesterday and the day before yesterday and the day before yesterday by simple practices of journaling. And also that they don't have to feel like their life is so terrible. And I used to feel like that a lot of the time as well. So I think that now, I don't know, I just one day just told myself that, girl, you can do more than one thing at one time. Just because people have told you that, oh, you are doing too much, you're too extra, does not mean that you need to listen to that. You can keep going. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to really lean into my YouTube, really lean into doing something that is of substance in this world. And not that to say of substance, but now that my kids are grown, I can do some different things. And it's funny, I just had this, well, I didn't even have a convo with my daughter about it because she wasn't ready for the message, but it's like when you have kids, things have to shift. You can't just have kids and be selfish anymore. It's about them, their development, helping them have all the tools they need to be in the world and not of the world and have that piece of their self. So I didn't do a lot of the things that I probably wanted to do before. And even I was trying to work full time, be this great world class instructor, which I was a Les Mills instructor for what, 3 or 4 years, 3 years, and enjoyed it. But it takes up a lot of your time. And when my mom got sick and was terminally ill, and I didn't even slow down enough to learn that lesson, I now can appreciate that time is short and it's the time to do the things you want to do is now, not later. So, yeah, I want you to put in the chat what's one thing you're tired of tolerating in 2025 that you want to do a new thing with in the new year. One of the things I purposed to do was to leave a 9 to 5 and go to a different kind of space where I work from home. And I have my Peloton that I can never get on, but at least I can if I want to. So just share that with me, and I would love to hear all about that. So, part dos is wellness is a doorway to everything else. So, one of the things that I realized is I had to get healthy. I couldn't live in this cycle of hating life, being tired, being miserable, drinking, eating junk food to help process my feelings. And let me know if you felt that way. I know a lot of times I just felt like I was cursed, like life was happening to me and not for me. And my daughter helped me learn that lesson that, girl, life is happening for us to learn these hard lessons. Because if we don't learn them, we don't have those deep roots that help us what? Build our faith. Love this. Build our faith. So, what are the lessons that I have to learn while I'm going through this time? And one is that my body is a temple. I need to love this body. One of the things that I told my sister this past weekend was I spent so much time hating how big my legs were, hating how I looked in general. And come to find out, my body was helping me while I was being so abusive to it. And when I really thought about that and sat with that for a minute, I really was sad. I talk about this in some of my other podcasts that for the longest time when I was eating all this junk and not treating my body right, not sleeping right, my body was doing the miracle of just keeping me alive. So now when I wake up, it's like I have such a different appreciation. Like I love my legs now because it got me through when I had my foot surgery that I could literally balance on my left side as if I did not need my right leg. So now that my body is trying to readjust and it's been a couple of years since my surgery, I have had like at first I was popping ibuprofen until I found out that was not good for me. It was messing up my kidneys, and I had to stop. I had to stop cold turkey as soon as I found out the information that ibuprofen was not good for me. I was overdoing it, and I had to tell my body that you are healed. I'm so glad that you have got me to this point. So I think when we have these hard things that happen, it's just a way of us to learn lessons quickly and keep it moving, right? So once I found out that I needed to get myself in a healthier state, I started purposing to drink more water. So I think end of the year, don't think about things that you have to stop doing. Think about things that you can add. Like I found out I was drinking too much coffee. I'm down to 1 cup of coffee. My second cup of coffee, if I want to have one with my daughters, is decaf and coconut creamer. I drink water all day. If I don't want water, I have it with my lemon in it. If I want something hot, I have my tea. So I'm gonna take a sip of tea. So, and I don't put sugar in that. Um, And I think we can do things, add things to our life. Don't think about the things you have to subtract. Because if I'm doing a lot of water, actually, I'm not thinking of having a drink. Like if I want to have a glass of wine or I have a Bartesian that I love, then that's fine. But it's not my coping mechanism anymore. So one of the things that I really talk about a lot in my podcast are audible books. I love listening to audible books while I walk, while I'm on my bike or my treadmill sometimes. Most of the times if I'm working out, I'm either doing my Peloton app or doing my playlist. I love me some Young Dolph while I'm running. So yeah, or Glorilla. But these books have helped me really think about what I'm thinking about. Mind Over Weight by Dr. Ian K. Smith. Finding Peace in a Frantic World by Mark Williams and Danny Penman. The Miracle of Mindfulness by T. Na Ha. Great books. They reminded me that peace is a practice. You don't just get peaceful. You get peace by saying, I am the peace. I'm the peace when I walk in the room. Because most of the times, the situations that I've been in is chaotic at best, to explain at best. So, me saying that I'm the peace when I walk in the room, I'm the energy that can change things has really helped. Um, Peace is practice. Mindfulness is a return to home. So, most of the times, if I feel chaotic, it's because I'm not doing what my inner man wants me to do, what my spirit man wants me to do, what my soul wants me to do. So I had to really hone in on that as a skill. Um, and taking care of my body had opened a way of me really honoring my life, honoring my body in a different way. So, like I said, my thoughts, inner thoughts, and things that I would say to myself changed once I really recognized how beautiful my body was. That, it was being affected by my space not being clean. That's why I even changed around my office. So, all of those little things that I thought were nothing, that my body was keeping the score of, that's also another Audible book. I am glad now that I'm able and I'm in a space where I can make the changes quickly, right? Because even with the coffee, I am a coffee fanatic. Love Starbucks, have several Starbucks cup. Been drinking coffee ever since I probably was, I'm not going to say 12, 13, 11, 12, 13. My mom is Panamanian. That's just what you do. And in an instant, once I found out that I was getting dehydrated from drinking so much caffeine, my mind changed. My mindset about, oh, I have to have coffee, it changed. Um, yeah. So I think we just need to really think about what we're thinking about. And behind that, once I started being more intentional with how I was speaking to myself, I created this whole affirmation series, which is more of me not only repeating things that I had heard in my affirmations list, but being more mindful about how I was speaking with myself to the point where I created the whole series. And I think that was something that took a while for me to understand. It's not just me repeating, I am worthy, I'm strong, I can do hard things, I am the head and not the tail. I couldn't do all of that without having a special understanding of it to keep moving forward. So I know that'll be helpful for somebody. So, just what's one small thing you've done for your body lately that you're proud of? So, I've been drinking more water. I stopped my caffeine habit, obsession, and I also made sure that I started back my morning walks. Well, now they're actually afternoon walks because I used to feel so good doing it. And now it's like, okay, I know my body's adjusting. So I just gave it space to be like, okay, you don't want to just jump out and start running, jogging, but you want to do a midday walk. And that's good for me. And I'm also glad that I noticed that instead of beating myself up. So, refreshing my space before the end of the year, I had said to myself I wanted to paint the man cave, and I'm like 75% done. All I have to do now is the border. When I was trying to record to show my progress, I ran out of space, but I can do my borders with the video again now because I deleted a whole bunch of stuff off my app, my phone. So now I have space. Exciting. Um, so 75% done with that. I still need to paint my closets in here, and I still need to paint my daughter, my lower level bathroom, not my daughter's bathroom, it's my bathroom. She is wanting to refresh it, and I told her I would paint it white. So that's what I'm gonna do with that. So when your home is messy for months, you're walking into rooms and your heart is pounding. Well, if not, that was happening to me. So I'm just being full transparency. And when I realized it wasn't even like it was a lot of stuff, but it just made me stressed out that I had piles of stuff that I didn't deal with. Some stuff I just threw away. Some stuff I made sure to make different spaces for it. And I just knew that before the end of the year, I wanted the man cave done. I wanted my spaces to be better to the point where I even redid my coffee bar, everything. And I think that's really important to know because sometimes we're just waiting for stuff. You don't need more expensive stuff. You don't even need more stuff because usually by the time I throw away a lot of the stuff that I was saying that I wanted to rearrange it, some things I don't even have because the projects that I was planning to do, I was like, "F it. I don't want to do it. I don't have time to do it. I don't want to do it. So I'm not going to do it and I'm moving on." So hopefully that'll free you to be like, you're not bound to it. I already spent the money on some stuff and it doesn't matter. I'm just going to get rid of the stuff and hopefully somebody else can have that to help their project. So, a few books that help me reconnect with my environment. And you can look at my other vlogs and podcasts to see my progress. I have a whole playlist on decluttering before the end of the year. Clean Body, Clean Mind, Clean Body by Tara Stiles. That's helped me with my thoughts about weight loss and not even weight loss, just getting healthy. Joy at Work by by Marie Kondo and Scott Sonnen, and Happiness Becomes You by Tina Turner. And all of those you can get on the Libby app. That's a free app by the library. You can download either for your Kindle or to listen, audible audiobooks. So a few things that they had taught me. Tara reminded me that clutter holds energy. Reminded me that order creates space. And Tina reminded me that joy is a daily practice and it's something that we can access at all times. And I remembered a clear home creates a clear mind. And that was one of the things that, like, now, instead of me walking past stuff that I put on my couch or that I hang over my handrail, is like, I'm the problem in making chaos in the space. I can help clean up while my day is going so that I also feel at peace. And I'm not cussing and fussing because stuff is knocking over when I'm going to get one thing. I can't find something. And my husband can attest to this. I'm a crabby patty when that happens. So drop a star in the chat if your environment affects your energy as well. I know that's a big thing in my house. I don't like a lot of mess. I don't like a lot of clutter. So let me know how that has, if your space affects you that way. I listened to a YouTuber, Natanya Bravo, and she has the Bravo Life, the Delulu Challenge. And she took time to dive into why your thoughts are so important and how even when you're looking at me now, you have thoughts of yourself, you have thoughts of me, you have thoughts of the information that's coming to you. So we have to really be intentional about what we're thinking about and how our thoughts are even saying what kind of income we're going to be bringing in, what kind of clients we're bringing in, what kind of product we're giving to our clients. So that's really changed my mindset as well. I took one mindful step in one area and it just dominoed down into other areas. A few of the podcasts you can listen to that help me: Natanya Bravo, The Bravo Life, The Delulu Challenge, 5 Easy Micro Habits You Can Start Now by Daika Melendez, and The Minimal Mom. Dawn the Minimal Mom has like a whole series on decluttering. Christy Doing Things has that as well, with the spiritual component and the mindset component. And I think those are all tools of because when you're starting a challenge or like a end of year challenge like this, it's good to have those good inputs because what you put in is what you're going to put out, right? So that's why I'm sharing all these, and I will pin this at the end as well. These women reminded me, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for ideal conditions and start where you are. If you can't, like I did a whole declutter of my driveway where I was throwing things into a truck. If you can't pick up things, do the things that you can and get help for what you need. Because even my husband was like, well, why didn't you ask for help? And I said, well, I didn't need help. I just wanted to see what I could do. And the things that I can't do, I was going to ask you or Michael to help me. I think don't get stuck in the things that you need or the things that you can't do. Start with what you can and just keep it moving. Once you do that, you'll realize that your house is improved, your health is improved, your work is improved. Um, and if you want to start a YouTube channel, put the energy into it just so you know that's the best product. Who knows? You might get a book, you might start writing a book, you might create a whole nother business from that. And it's okay if you have 5 businesses, but you're putting in what you want to get out of that. You're giving it your all and your best. So, yeah, walking into the holiday season. My daughter and I, Dominique, have a podcast called Not Vanilla. Check that out. I'm going to leave that in our pinned comment as well. And we dive in deep into the holiday season and how we can show up with intention. Now, the convo is spicy in that it's very unfiltered. I'm unfiltered, but me and Dom together, very unfiltered, very spicy. That's what we're calling it now. We're really being intentional about um not sugarcoating things. So yeah, as we go into the holiday season, I think it's really important for us to think about the intention of why we're going to the different dinners, why we're going to the different events, and what do we want to bring into the space. Don't just let things happen to you and you're responding to them. When you're going, are you going there for the whole event? Are you bringing a dish? Are you bringing games? There's different ways we can show up into the holiday season. But I think one of the things that we really need to be mindful of is that everyone is not in the same space in the holiday season. They may be grieving, they may have lost a job, they may have just now got started back with work and stuff is really tight with them. So don't obligate anyone to cook, don't obligate anyone to do anything because you don't know where they are. So instead of maybe having a dinner, you can have a game night. I know one of the things I did last year that the older folks were not too happy about, I did a cookie party, which was I didn't have food. But to be fair, I had it earlier in the day. I I baked all the cookies and the kids just decorated, and I think it helps just to be together. I had enough cookies that the kids could give gifts to different family members or their friends, and that was my way of giving back. So, think of different ways that you can even connect or that people can show up. And if they are showing that they're kind of sad or downcasted, to just don't pressure them. Just be glad they're there. Hug them if they want to be hugged. I have one child, I have four kids. I have one that is like, I need to have an NDA before I hug him. Being funny but serious. Anyways, um, so yeah, just making sure that we're respectful of how people are showing up and that we are showing up a certain way. Um, oh, and another thing that we had talked about in our podcast is that there might be people that are not eating meat. There might be people that are not drinking. And just to be mindful and not to pressure them into whatever norm we think it is. If people are, oh, and this is one thing that I had done um, a few years ago. And when we were getting our podcast together, we found out that it's a no no. But thankful circles, not to pressure anyone to do them. If people want to do them, that's fine. If not, leave them alone and keep it moving. And I'm maturing too, because I didn't even think of that as a problem. So, you get older, you learn. And now that I'm on the other side of grief in the holidays and I am in a different space altogether, I can appreciate all of that. I did holidays where I didn't want to really do a lot, and I only did maybe an hour of going. I cooked and then I left. I did some holidays where I just didn't feel like it, and my husband was disappointed, but I think now that I'm on the other side of that, I won't pressure people and stuff like that because sometimes you just can't even. You know how people say, I just can't even. Yeah, sometimes you just can't. And, the best thing that we could do is just say, I love you. I missed you. I can't wait till I can see you again and leave it at that. Don't pressure people to be like, oh, how are you doing? And be mindful of who's listening and if they can even really share. Or are you even ready to listen to that in the middle of whatever's going on? So just be mindful. So, to recap, at the end of this year, I'm choosing to walk in differently, slower, kinder, more grounded, more present with real boundaries. And those boundaries can be for myself. If I say I'm going to clean up for 1 hour, really clean up for 1 hour. If I'm going to work for 1 hour, really work for 1 hour. Um, and be committed to my own peace. So, please check out the podcast. It's called Not Vanilla. If you want to hear more, I'm going to leave the link in my pinned comments. And just thinking about how you want to show up in the holiday season and where you can go um, to be a light and not be the darkness. Don't be the person that's a Krabby Patty. If you want to stay home, stay home. If you want to show up in an authentic way, not fake, not being glitterly if you don't want to be that way. So to close out 2025, I want to have a clearer home, a healthier body, a calmer mind, better client care, more creativity, consistency on YouTube, practicing real boundaries, having more joy and more intention. And I want you to finish the year strong too. That's why I made this space and I committed to doing it once a month at least. Is if you wanted to have a real conversation with someone about things that you can't really talk to people about, YouTube is a good space for that because you can drop a comment and I can answer it. So I'm glad that you were able to join me today and listen to my big little show, my little big show. I don't know which one, but I'm glad that you were able to join me. I hope you understood why mindfulness is the way to go. Why my podcast is called Unfiltered, and that mindfulness for you will be a practical practice like I've made it be, and that the inner peace will give the world more peace, right? So I also wanted to tell you that your truth matters, you matter, and that I want you to get some rest this weekend. I want you to renew your mind this weekend with some of the good books that I shared with you, and that you don't have to be any way but what you want to be. So, with that, if there are no questions, and there's none, that means I did a good job. Well, I love y'all and I hope you have an awesome night.